to show up. This is a milestone episode. We are at episode 115, and I finally got my chance to sit down with the Lulu Jackson of Beastin' Athletics. Now, I know y'all can tell I ain't really in shape, but I had to come and really see the GOAT and see everything that she got to give us. So we gonna jump right on into it, talking about all of her greatness. Now, if you don't know, this lady right here is the trainer of the year. Matter of fact, it's been about a decade. She has been doing her thing. She's going to help us get over all of our hurdles, both physically, mentally, emotionally. And also, she's going to tell us more about her educational background, her beauty, and how we can get to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to ask. And anything else that y'all would like to know. But seriously, though, I had to come through. One thing that we love about Lulu Jackson specifically is the fact that she pulls up on a pull-up experience. You guys might remember her from the dating games and a couple events we've had.
Thank you, Lulu.
She also has been a co-host here at the Pull-Up Experience. So it would only be right that I had to show up like a phantom in the night to come and see her, y'all. I'm tired of just sliding her DMs like the rest of y'all. Stuck on red. Anyways, we are here tonight, and I hope y'all have a great time with us. Without further ado, welcome to the Pull-Up Experience podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I'm joking and laughing and stuff, but can't nobody do it quite like you. So tell the people exactly who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Lulu Jackson, and I am a certified personal trainer and owner of Beastin' Athletics and 216 Space.
I like to say I am a beast, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I
I mean, that's kind of where the name came from.
That's
you know what I mean? I mean, growing up just as an athlete, I would always hear like, "Oh man, you a beast, you a beast." Mm-hmm. So when I broke off and did my business, I'm like, okay, Beastin' Athletics. It only makes sense. Yeah. So.
Okay, let's start from getting loose. Yeah. We got to know where it all came from, where it all started. So let's go start at the high school. What did you dabble in all athletics, or were you just like, let me go straight to the track? Were you just naturally good at it? Were you always the fast kid everybody can never beat?
Yes, I'm gonna just take it back a little bit further if you don't mind. So growing up, like, I just love to run. I would just run everywhere. Me and my brother would race to the bus stop. So I would see like me and my dad will be at like the CVS or whatever the pharmacy store is, and I'll see these papers like to sign up to do like these 5Ks and 10Ks. I'm like, Dad, can I do this? Can I do this? So he's like, yeah, you can do it. That's always say, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, you can do it. So I started off running like 5Ks, 10Ks.
As a kid?
And I would literally like win my age category all the time. And you know, I was really skinny, dark skinned girl, and like I grew up in Shaker. A lot of the races was at like Horseshoe Lake, so you know it wasn't a lot of us. And they like, oh, you know, they used to always ask my parents like, oh, are you guys from Africa? Like she runs like, you know what I'm saying? She's so good. So, you know, they had that, they put that together, like if me being a dark skinned, skinny girl, that I must have been from Africa because I ran so well in these distance events. Like I would literally beat adults in the race. So, so that's where it started. But then when I got to middle school is when I finally started to run track. So that's when I was first introduced to the sport of track and field. And the reason I got into hurdles was because it was like, first of all, middle school track is usually terrible. Like, it's not a lot of structure. So it's like, what you want to do? You want to do this? So it's kind of like one of those things, right? And then it was like a group of 8th grade boys over here off to the cut doing hurdles. So coach got to me, what you want to do? I want to go over there. They was all fine. I was like, listen, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't even into boys, like having boyfriends and stuff like that at that age, but I knew I wanted to be over there by them. They was fine. And I was only in middle school. So anyway, that's how I got introduced to hurdles. Like, it really wasn't like, oh, it was like the cute boys was over there. That's where I want to go. I want to be looking at some cute boys every day instead of y'all. Like, no one there. Put me over there. So, yeah, that's how I became a hurdler. And went to high school. So, in middle school, I still did a little bit of distance. I did the 800. I would do the 100-meter hurdles. And I would do, like, a relay. You can only do 3 events in middle school. So, high school, Like, all the girls that got there before me telling my coach, like, oh, yeah, she's our best distance runner. You know, she got to run distance. Yeah. And he is like, you're not going to run over a lap. He like, how does this make sense? He's like, you are so good in the hurdles, but you running the 800. Like, that doesn't even make sense. That's two different energy systems. Yeah. And I trusted him because my family grew up and he coached them, and, you know, they had high praises of Coach Woody. So I listened. And after that, I became a sprinter, and he focused on the hurdles because he saw that in me, that was going to be my bread and butter. And the rest is history because I made it to the state track meet my freshman year. I was the only athlete on our team to make it down. And then I just made it to the state track meet every year after that. I am how many times? I won state champion a couple of times. I think it's like 5 times.
I was going to say it's way more than a couple. Five-time All-American hurdler at high school and collegiate level, 4-time state champ in 100-meter and 300-meter hurdles, 20 plus years of state, regional, district, 100-meter record holder, named player of the week, year all-star by Plain Dealer. That's our local paper here in Cleveland. If you don't know, and that's back when they were still printing it. You had to go see her, period. She was named one of Northeast Ohio's greatest female athletes by USA Today, national level. High school sports. Let me tell y'all, when I tell you when she said, my name Lulu and I'm a beast, she wasn't playing. That was nothing but the truth. Even with her, I'm going to high school to be fast, or I'm going to hurdles to be fast. No, she meant that. She ain't been playing. She's been a sprinter all her life. And what I love most about you is you are the epitome when it comes to power and perseverance. Because you go through so many things, and you don't just go through them or go to them, you get through them. And you get through them fast. And you find a way to, like, emote, get it out your system, and it's like, all right, you know, they shot the gun, I gotta go. And you make it happen every day of your life in so many different aspects of your life. And I admire that about you. I really, really love you as a person because your track story is so parallel to your personal and professional story that it's beautiful.
Thank you.
So I love you. I really do. I had to give you a flower. I wish I would have bought a bouquet. Thank you. So transitioning, because you became a professional athlete, and not, you know, we see WNBA players all the time, but we don't always see female football players. And of course, y'all see the shape. My boo's a real player, a lingerie player, right? But it's not all pretty. Like, she really was getting it in, like, plays and, you know, moving the chains, making the plays, and you supported your team and led your team in a way that it was just beautiful to even just watch. So how did that even become a thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna say, how did you go from track to that?
That's a great question because, you know, sport or track and field, you in your lane. You don't have no physical contact, none of that. I was not a fan of physical contact. I played basketball 1 year in middle school, and I was like, never again.
Wow.
So when the opportunity to play football came along, I received an email, and I had been like out of sports as like an athlete for a while, and I had put on some weight. And so I'm like, I need something to help hold me accountable. Like, if I'm a part of a team, then I'm gonna do what I need to do. Blah, blah, blah. So I literally went to the tryout because I wanted to lose weight. Yeah. And I'm like, the whole time, I'm like, man, I'm not going to get chosen to be on a football team. Like, I'm so dainty. Like, I don't, you know. And so the coach is like, okay, talking about the positions. Receivers over here, but I'm 5'11". I'm tall. Receivers are tall. So I'm good. I'm like going over here with the receivers. He like, where you going? I'm like, what you mean? I'm gonna be a receiver. He like, man, you on the line. I'm like, what? Man, listen. You don't know how my feelings, like, I'm already showing up here to try to lose weight, and then you basically tell me I'm fat. Like, everybody know the lineman big. Like, you know what I'm saying? The lineman big. I'm looking like, okay. So anyway, you know, it was good practices. I kept showing up, and I'm still confused. Like, I'm fast, I'm tall, like, why am I not a receiver? But, you know, I'm learning the game.
Right.
So I'm a coachable person. So I'm listening to my coach say, this where I'm at, this where I'm at. And we had our first game. I'm like, oh, it makes sense now. Because I'm like 5'11", 180 pounds, and these other girls are like 5'4", 120 pounds. I'm like, yeah.
He's being strategic.
Yeah. Okay. So I definitely was a lineman in that league.
That was up.
But yeah, it was fun. So that's how I got into it, actually, because I wanted to lose weight. First game, everything was in slow motion. First contact, and then everything just sped up, and I just got a rush. Like, I felt like the NFL players. They'd be screaming, whoa! Like, I just got a rush. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. So, you know, you build a sisterhood with your teammates. I definitely had a lot of fun. It was like a good stress reliever. You know, I was a hitter. Yeah. You know, I was known for being a hitter in the league, and that's what I did, and I enjoyed it.
Now, being able to experience you, like, never knowing you, in theory, you seem shy. And that might be for sure true. But I've watched some of your, like, behind-the-scenes, locker room talk, kind of clips, and you come alive. Like, you just jump out of your skin and turn into this, like, beast, I guess. Like, you are great with motivating. You are great with putting people back into this is our goal. We ain't made it yet. You know, we halfway there, or we doing great, or we could do better. And you just kind of speak life into the locker room. How does that, like, how do you flip it?
How do I transition?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we would train a couple times a week, like 3 times a week, and we would train for hours. So, obviously, you build up a sisterhood, you build up a friendship, a relationship, a connection with these group of girls. In settings where I have connections, or I'm like with people that, you know, I'm connected to, I'm completely an extrovert. You know, I can be the life of the party. I'm telling the jokes, this and that. But, like, new people, new situations, I'm just kind of like trying to get people's energy. You know what I'm saying? Feeding off of people's energy. So, it was easy for me in that setting because we had formed a connection. We had formed a bond. Like, I knew they had my back and they knew I had their back. So, it was easy just to... Like, and it's just passion, like, because it's never like anything rehearsed. Like, it just it just flow, and I'm just in the moment. You know, I saw a moment where some of my teammates was looking defeated, and I'm like, man, listen, it's never over until it's over, because that's the mentality I had as an athlete. And that's the mentality I have as a coach. Don't ever go into a situation, and that video was from my rookie season, actually. Wow. Don't ever go into a situation saying or feeling like this person is supposed to be better than you. Because every day when you show up on this track, may the best man win who showed up that day. Yeah. I don't care what somebody did in the past.
Quick one time. Thank you.
Right. I see when we start to show up and forgetting this. Good gems, yes.
So I got a question. So with this whole, is everyone's watching the news, the LSU controversy and whatnot, about the young lady Angela Reese, about how she was being competitive and, you know what I'm saying, showing like, hey, look at the ring, I got it now and whatnot. Did you experience some of that while you were playing football? And what is your take on that?
You know, I feel like she's an athlete. You know, she's not out here being a pampered princess. She's a basketball player at one of the highest levels. Like, the highest level after that is to be the WNBA. She's playing at the collegiate level. Like, guys do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the banter. Now, me going into football, I did not know how to trash talk again.
I can imagine you be like, listen, I got the ball. What you got? You know, just like something crazy like that.
Something stupid as hell. Okay, I've never been that girl growing up who could be like, and kill you with their words. Like, that was never me. It's like, your mama, like, you, whatever they say, you. Like, I'm definitely not like a trash talker. So my son was like, Ma, like, you gotta get it together. I'm like, what do I say? I don't know what to say. Because literally, Like they'll say something smart about me being big, and I just be like, man, whatever, dude. So then, like, after my son called me out on it, he like, man, you big out there, you aggressive, you this, and then you out there, you can't talk trash. So I just kind of learned, and goodness gracious, I was always in fights.
That's crazy. So, you know, the way the media is, you know, saying it turned into a big thing. Even the young lady, the lady from the other team, she came out and said, "I understand what the big deal is or whatnot."
Right.
But somehow it turns to this big thing. Like you said, men do it all the time. I done heard some crazy stuff. I'm like, can you say that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and look across certain sports, like women who box, like certain sports that's just more, you know, of that back and forth banter. Like even as women, like it is what it is. Like I definitely feel like, you know, there's a double standard when it comes to black people and white people, because the girl literally did the same gesture.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like you can't, it can't be a problem one way and then not be a problem another way. I'm all about being fair. You know what I'm saying? And unless you do something to me that like will cause, I'm never just gonna judge somebody and say, oh, I'm not, or this because of what they do or how they dress or how they act. Like, it's basketball.
Right.
I remember was a clip I saw about her when she had like blocked a shot from another player with one shoe on, one shoe off, and they like, oh, she's so extra. I'm like,
right. What am I supposed to do?
If that was a dude blocking somebody's shot once, I don't care about, like, what do you want her just
right.
So, you know, I learned that too. I mean, I was never the type of person to get offended. Like, girl, okay, yeah, whatever. But like, if you're in a sport where it's a level of physicality and aggression, like it has to be expected. You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
They not out here on the ice skate by themselves, like.
And even then, we seen
and it's
Tanya,
right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna just be like trash talking or whatever. But I mean, that's the sport. It's the sport. So.
That's good.
So speaking of physicality and aggression, I think that's a great segue because you experienced that as an athlete, and that kind of hindered, you know, kind of stopped you a little bit, but you kept going. Like you rehabbed and everything. So do you want to talk about it first of all?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, I tore my ACL. The first time I didn't know what happened. Oh yeah, I tore it twice. Well, both of them. So now I used to have those Meg Thee Stallion knees, y'all, but now I got them granny knees. Oh God. But I tore my ACL, and again, I am ignorant to the sport. I'm ignorant to these type of injuries in this particular sport. So I hear about NFL players turning their ACL all the time. Man, it seems like they be back on the field like 3 to 6 months tops. So I'm like, oh, ACL, okay, it's no big deal. Like, okay, whatever, give me the happy drugs. I literally couldn't walk. Like, you lose all your muscle. You can't bend your knee. It was horrible. So the first time I experienced that, like, it really messed me up. I went into a deep depression because I couldn't do the things that I wanted to do. I was trying to do too much too soon to get back, and I would re-injure it. So it took my first year. It took me like a year to fully rehab. And in my mind, that messed me up because, again, I'm thinking about NFL players. You know, they tear their ACL, they back competing. Like, in my head, like, that's what happens.
Right.
But I'm not thinking like that's their job. That's what they do for a living. That's what pay the bills. So they literally is rehabbing all day, every day as part of their job with the best people. You know what I'm saying? I'm going after work. You know what I'm saying? On a lunch break.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of things that I was just naive to and I wasn't aware of. And it kind of just, you know, having to sit on the couch and have people help you do stuff when I was just used to being on the go and taking care of myself. Like, my mama had to help me take a shower. Like, Mom, like, can you, how we gonna do this? But yeah, so oddly enough though, when I finally got back, I wanted to get back into it. That's how much I enjoyed the sport. And when I went back, I tore the other one. I tore the ACL. The last game of the season, I tore the ACL. But this time I had learned from the first injury what to do, what not to do. And I was just on it, and I rehabbed in probably like 6 months. Yeah.
So how did you keep yourself motivated during that time? Like you said, like you went through a deep depression, but I know for people not even going through an injury, they can go through some mental or whatnot. What kept you motivated to get back? You know what I'm saying? Get back right.
Ooh-wee. I'm the type of person, like, I keep stuff in. I don't really let stuff out. But a very good friend of mine, we talked about it, we was on the show together.
Who's that? So you can say his name.
That's Philly Weeden.
Shout out to Philly,
that's
man.
Philly Weeden. He like knew, because I had just started training with him that year when I started playing football. So like we formed a connection, you know what I'm saying? And he was somebody who like I could talk to, and when I had the injury, like he just knew. You know what I'm saying? Like my whole demeanor changed. Like it was going through that. I was going through a couple of other things at the same time too. And so it just hit me like all at the same time. And then we had talked or something, and he like just started praying. He just started praying for me. And that's when I was just like, damn. Cause like outside of my dad, like ain't no man never like just prayed like that for me. And it spoke to me as well. So I was like, you know, you gotta snap out of this. Cause he like telling me like, you know, you gotta be great. You know, he always encourage and motivate everybody he come in contact with. So that's what really helped me. You know what I'm saying? I really just started talking to God and, you know, just digging more into my spirituality. And that's when I was able to like come out of that. Like, you know, you bigger than this, you better than that, and just do what you gotta do, and you'll be back to where you need to be. So that's really what's the catalyst.
That's good stuff right there.
So now you're coachable, but few people realize that you are beauty and brains, and like really dope at both. So can we touch on your education background? Because it's hard to get people to see what you see in themselves, or get people to understand what comes so naturally to you. Yeah. So how does that aspect of your life work?
So my education, you know, I was my sports supported me to get a full scholarship. I went to Ohio State. I had a full scholarship to Ohio State, and I ended up, you know, getting my degree. So I had got a degree in psychology, and then I still had a year of eligibility because I actually had my baby. I had my son when I was in college, and I had an injury, so I had a full year eligibility. So my coach was like, you need to petition for a second major, so you can use your year eligibility. So that's what I did, and he was like, you know, you don't gotta finish it, but you just gotta take the credits so you be eligible. So we was on quarters back then, and I had mapped it out. I'm like, if I'm gonna start it, I'm gonna finish it. So I had mapped out all the credits, how I needed to finish in 3 quarters, and I did. So in 5 years, I graduated with 2 degrees, and then I got my first job as a behavior specialist at an elementary school. So I dealt more with like the psychological aspect of it, because my degree was in psychology, about how to change behaviors through positive reinforcement, things like that. So I'm straight out of college. I'm putting together a program for this school, and I don't have a clue, but they saw something in me that I didn't see. So long story short, but I have to go into the classrooms, help the teachers, to help with students who might have had some challenges or whatever. So I'm like, I just was envious of the student-teacher relationship. I was like, oh my gosh, I love it. Like, they actually get to form a bond. Like, I'm in and out. I see you for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like a counselor almost type thing. So I'm like, I really love that. And then the principal at the time, she was like, you're really good with these kids. I think you should go and get your master's in special education. So I did that, and I taught for over a decade. I was in the classroom as a special education teacher.
That's dope.
So you truly have a different level of patience and understanding when it comes to people, because I know I'm childish myself, so dealing with actual children has to be something.
This is not the case. I have a lot of patience with children.
Really?
Because those babies, they babies.
Yeah.
They don't know no better. If you an adult, listen, you know better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not tolerating that. You have to set boundaries. Because if you don't, people act a fool. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of patience with adults, with children, with clients, people like that. Absolutely. But just regular.
You heard that,
Want to
fellas.
be inappropriate.
No.
Don't be my button. No.
See, it didn't even get better. It was so sharp that I touched it.
And then I took it back to the classroom. Inappropriate. That's inappropriate.
Oh man. So, do you still tutor?
I tutor. So I was a full-time teacher. I resigned in February of 2021. And that's when I started focusing on being a full-time entrepreneur. And so then I just wasn't teaching at all. And one of my coworkers reached out to me, my friend, and she was like, oh, because I always talk about how, like, I miss it. Like, I really love teaching. I really love being with the students. I really love, especially my students who, quote unquote, had, well, they did have disabilities, but, like, it's such a, that's a whole nother story, because it's such a stigma, even from other educators. And I just, like, had to advocate for those kids so hard, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I miss that part, like, watching their growth, being their advocates, being their voice, because although we've come a long way in the education system, we still got a long way to go. We still got a long way to go. So, yeah, my friend reached out to me, and then I started back tutoring, and then started tutoring, actually. And so that's how I have been getting my fix with the teaching. Yeah, so.
That's good.
So you said February 2021, and I know by that time we were in like full swing of this whole pandemic. Like it was getting real. How did you navigate that space? Because that's when it like really was getting started. Like, because I think March is when we all shut down for a little bit.
Yeah, the pandemic happened in 2020. So we was like getting back into the swing of things. I was still teaching from home though at the time. And I mean, like, things were just becoming very different in education. And like, I would talk to Philly. I know I'm always saying how, but I don't really open up to a lot of people. There's very few people I talk to, and because he trained me and we work together all the time, so I don't know, we just got a connection where I can just talk to him about stuff. But I'm like, man, I'm telling him, I'm like, I would be stressed, like, oh my gosh, like, they trying to put all this extra work on me, this and this and that, like, so he's like, man, Lou, you can't be stressed out like this. He like, if you not here for yourself, if you not in a good space, how you gonna help your athletes? How you gonna help your students? So it was like the stress. It wasn't the stress of the students. It's just, it's politics and everything.
No, facts.
So, I was definitely starting to feel burnout because I had went through a couple of bad experiences, like, in the past couple of years, like, leading up to that. So I was just like, the straw that broke the camel's back was my dad passed. And thank you. And it was unexpected. So I took it really hard, because me and my dad was like this. We did everything together. I admired that man. That's the person who I wanted to be like. And the district just really wasn't understanding of that. We did not have in our teacher contracts, we didn't have bereavement as a leave of absence.
Oh, wow.
So I'm literally using up my sick time, my personal time, but at the same time, like, they know my father passed and who I was helping to take care of at this time, because he was older. And I literally would get emails, calls, when you coming back to work.
Oh, like, very insensitive.
When you come back to work. Yep, my dad passed on a Saturday, and I was in a meeting. Went on time off on like a Tuesday. So I just was like, and then it got to the point where like it was being said that, oh, we can't have get a long-term sub for your kids unless you can take a leave of absence. Well, what leave of absence can I take? We don't have bereavement.
Yeah.
Well, you can try for FMLA. I'm like, but you know this don't qualify for FMLA. So it's kind of like, well, you're going to be out of time, and so, you know, we're going to have to, like, your pay. I was like, you know what? I want my kids to be able to have somebody consistent every day. So, like, you're not going to dangle a salary in my face. Because when it comes to my dad in anything, it's always going to be him.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Then I guess I have no choice but to resign. So I resigned. So it wasn't like a happy time. But that's when I was like, because I mean, I love teaching. I really feel like that's my very first passion, teaching. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I guess it's just time I got to focus on me. Because I had started Beastin' Athletics in 2019, right before the pandemic, and then it was just kind of like, oh, I wasn't really like pouring my all into it, you know. I have, you know, had this and that or whatever. I wasn't really consistent with content. I didn't even have a social media page. And then when that happened, you know, I kept grieving for like 2 more months, and then I was like, okay, because now this is your main source of income, so now you got to step it up, and now you got to do what you need to do. And you know what? The peace of mind that I have being a full-time entrepreneur, my peace, my time, I mean, I would not trade it for the world. I don't care what I'm going through, what my business going through, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how to make it work because I can't go back to somebody else. Feeling like they had a power over me. Where you going to try to make me choose between grieving my father in this job.
So question. So we had the job. So I'm pretty sure having y'all watch the big interview, you know what I'm saying? Because Philly is a very persuasive man and whatnot. And I'm pretty sure he encouraged you with entrepreneurship. Well, how did you know what exactly to do as far as in the business mode? Because I know you already had your clients as far as people you were coaching as far as with the track, with fitness and whatnot. But then how did you transition into apparel and all that good stuff?
Okay, so apparel actually started before I even got into transition to training full time. I was training part time because I would be a teacher, I would be a coach, and then I would train private clients. So I was training part time. The pandemic happened, and everything was shut down, but I still had my teaching job. So, you know, I still had, like, I didn't have the effects. I didn't feel the effects of, like, oh, I'm starting a new business and it crashed, because I still had my full-time salary. You know what I'm saying? So it was like I could still navigate how I want to. I can still do a little bit, but, you know, the world was shut down. So I was like, okay, it doesn't make sense. Like, what I'm going to do? This is a new brand coming out, and people just going to be like, oh, like, no one knows. Like, I had no way to market or to have any type of public exposure prior to that. So, I, you know, since I said once the world opened back up, and, you know, I went back to training part-time and still have everything doing, but then when I ended up having to resign from my job, it was just a natural transition. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that, like, oh, this is what I'm doing after that life-changing event. It was already in the works. But now, instead of it being like, oh, you know, a hobby, or it wasn't a hobby. I never felt like it was a hobby, but it was just like, okay, I don't really have to deal with this, because I had a good salary as a teacher. Like, we literally work 189 days a year, and I had a great salary. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
shout out to teachers, by the way.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we definitely earned that check. Right. Especially if you did what I did. You definitely earned that check. But, like, it was like not a pressing issue for me. I didn't miss my lifestyle. Didn't have to change it. I was blessed in that way.
That's good.
So I didn't feel like, you know what I mean. But when I officially resigned, that's when I was like, okay, You're gonna be broke and stressed and depressed, or you just gonna take what you already been doing, focus in that, and make that your priority. And that's what I did.
So what I love about Beastin' Athletics, especially the fit and flat, you know what I mean? But what I love about it is because you could be like a real athlete or you could be like a couch potato, and either way is going to give you the shape, and not only shape but like breathability. Because I don't like workout clothes that I can't breathe in, because you got to breathe while you're trying to, even if you're just walking. And they don't, like, it's easy to put on. It really looks good. Like, you could wear it. I could wear it to lunch, and then I could still leave lunch and go to the gym. In theory, or the track or something. You know, I'm going to do something in it, but I look like, you know what I'm saying? I look like I did it. And you're not, like, sweaty and, like, just, it's just really, really cute clothes. So how did you even, like, come with that part? Because it's hard to do with workout clothes, for real.
Yeah, so like I said, I was always like a coach and working out or training somebody. So I was literally in workout clothes a lot. You know, as an athlete, running track, playing football, you in athletic clothes a lot. So I'm wearing leggings most of my life. You know what I mean? And then I was tall, and I'm like, I'll pay $80 for a pair of leggings. They won't even stay up on my waist. Like, I'm working out and I'm like crack hanging out.
Yeah, because yours come.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So,
because I've been looking. I was kidding.
So, I mean, I was like, I'm always wearing workout clothes. I'm tired of having to wear capri pants by default because I'm too tall.
Girl, you
like,
because yours do always come where they
right. So I'm like tired of this. Like, I really want regular leggings, y'all. Like,
I'm sorry, y'all. The man, I'm like,
you know,
I wear shorts
like,
and t-shirts, you know.
Jeans. Like, imagine having to buy jeans and they always floods because you're tall. Like, cause they only make one length.
Okay.
So I'm like, I might as well do my own thing because I'm always wearing my own stuff. I mean, I'm always in workout clothes, so why not represent my own brand? And that's when Beastin' Athletics was born. And you know, I just trial and error.
I was gonna ask you, I just go about finding the right material, the right quality of
trial and error.
I got you.
But I'm smart, so I had to I learned one time early on, and I was like, never again. Always get samples before you put in a book and like I mean I don't want to lose money. I want to make money.
Yeah.
So I can't afford to be wasting money because now I got this mass quantity of this set that can't nobody fit.
I'm gonna ask you, tell us about the horror stories.
Right,
tell about stories that people don't normally know what comes with having your own apparel.
Man, listen. Because you got to put your trust in people. You got to build relationships. Usually the people are not here. They're not local.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's long distance business relationships. And, you know, you got to kiss a few frogs before you find out, like, who you can trust, who you want to do business with, you know, the turnaround time, all of that stuff.
Let's take the button away, y'all. Y'all over there.
Y'all scooting too close.
But yeah, I mean, I had nobody to like show me the ropes. I knew what I wanted to do. Like, I just wanted cute workout clothes that was affordable. Like, well, I gotta pay $80 for my leggings. So I wanted to have like that, you know, the same quality of that top name brand at like an affordable price, because I feel like if you look good, you feel good, you're gonna go harder in the gym. I don't care what nobody say. When I got on my cute little outfit, I'm going way harder than my damn t-shirt. You know, because you just like, oh man, like you feeling yourself. There's mirrors everywhere in the gym. You working on getting that body you want. You feeling yourself. You better be feeling yourself.
Right. Only when I'm.
You know what I'm saying?
It gotta look like this though.
Because it all starts in the mind. Yeah. The mind is a powerful tool. And I always teach my athletes, like, what you put out into the universe is what you will get back. So if you gotta feel like I'm that girl. And we all know it's a few things that we can accessorize with that can just heighten that, make us feel a little bit better. And that's a cute workout outfit when you're in the gym.
Sorry, I got a question. So in the age of the BBLs, how as an athletic person like yourself, because I seen this post the person was talking about, y'all seen this girl with the BBLs and talking about they worked out to get that when they know they got surgery or whatnot. How, as a person who trains, who coaches, and helps women get to the shape they're looking for, or the weight they're looking for, how do you help them with that mindset, with the physicality to get to where they want to get to without having to get the alternate route of the, you know what I'm saying? Not no against BBL.
I mean, well, I'm neutral. I'm unbiased.
Okay.
You know, I'm for whatever you want to do that. I've certainly had clients who have said, like, you know, I want to lose a little bit of weight because I want to go have a surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And
they make you lose weight before the surgery?
Well, in some instances, I guess, yeah, I guess some people might be too heavy or something, I don't know, but, and it is what it is, you know what I'm saying, do what you want to do on your truth. I feel like that's nobody's business, I'm not judging that, but no matter what, surgery or no surgery, you gotta work out, you gotta maintain it, you know what I mean, and I see so many girls that go get a surgery, they looking good, and then within a year, it's like money down the drain.
Damn.
Why? Because you still have the same lifestyle. So what is going to change? You're still going to be gaining that weight just like you would. Just because you went and had surgery it's not going to change that. So, you know, I just believe in people being healthy and having healthy goals for themselves. I say be your own body goals. Because you don't know what people been through or had to do or what people did to get that body.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? We idolize these celebrities, and a lot of these celebrities got their bodies done, and on top of that, they still photoshopping their pictures. So you can't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? You just have to worry about you, work on you, and as long as you reach your goal, that's, you know, that's all that matters.
That's good stuff right there. That's great stuff. Because I know, like I said, you see them, you be like, okay, and then like they was a certain weight behind. Now they got the surgery and they got the athletic gear on, but you ain't never seen the gym. You know what I'm saying? The math ain't math.
Right.
The parties is kept though. You can sculpt your body in the gym. Like let's say you took a winter break and made a summer winter gut turn into summer butt. Like you really can't do that. People be changing their body composition all the time just from the workouts and stuff they do. So sometimes she can go ghost and come back and be like, damn, I don't remember that from high school.
Okay, listen, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
For real. Go to the vote. That's why you need to be pulling up.
So speaking of, let's talk about your specialty with jumping.
Juicy jumping.
Juicy jump. I was about to say, I know 2 days. You know what I'm saying?
Juicy jumping.
Let's talk about juicy jumping. What came? Where did that originate from? And what is the purpose of the juicy jumping?
Oh gosh.
Break it down for the people.
So y'all know, because we talked. I'm not a type of person that want to be on display. Okay? I have never instructed the class. I had no desire to instruct the class. I like to stay in my lane with my athletes. We over here, we working. We getting better and speed hurts. We had this, Philly was on the cover of a magazine, fitness magazine. We had a huge event. He's in our group chat, like, all the trainers got to teach a class. And you know, all the trainers, this is me doing his voice.
How about you sound like him, by the way? You sound like just like him.
And then all the trainers, you can represent your brand, you know, you have your stuff, a vendor, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, cool. So since I like to stay in my lane, I'ma just be in, right? He like, no. You gonna teach a class? So I'm like, what? So he was like, jump rope. Because I was a jump roper, and I jump rope. So I'm like, okay. But yeah, that's how that class was birthed. My homegirl Juan, who was here with us last time, she created the name. Shout out to Juan. Juicy jumping. I said, well, since I gotta teach a class, then that's what we gonna go with, because I like the way that flow. So yeah, that's how that. Y'all know I'm nervous as hell. Everybody like, when the date? When is it starting? I'm like, I don't know yet. We trying to figure out a good day and time slot. You know, I'll put it off forever. over here. I don't want to be in front of the class and now live streams and all this stuff. Because I'm going to be like, oh my gosh. They looking at me.
You're doing a great job right now, by the way.
Amazing.
That's funny.
But yeah, I don't know when it's gonna start. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Cause I'm pulling up without Brittany. Cause you went on Brittany, it's never gonna happen.
Oh,
Thank
you
you.
just brought
See
my
you last
jump
time.
robe. I should have brought my jump robe.
Y'all get me embarrassed in front of this camera and not in front of these people. That's not good. But okay, so another question I want to ask you. How do you balance entrepreneurship, motherhood, personal, like all these things that make you who you are? How do you balance that all?
That's a great question. It's almost like I wrote it.
Don't come back trying to do me like that, man.
I have literally been balancing my entire adult life. Like I said, I had my son young. I was my second year in college. That's when I found out I was pregnant, and I'm like, I refuse to. I'm already a statistic, being an unwed, black mom. But I can't be that girl that went off to college on an athletic scholarship and come back home because she got pregnant.
Yeah.
So, I had to figure it out. I actually hid my pregnancy from my coach for 7 months. I competed. Yes, I competed. Then, I'm like, I can't switch nothing up.
We all like running scratch.
Yeah.
7 months.
7 months. 7 months, and I was the captain of the team at the time. This is my second year. My grades are top tier, and I'm still competing at a high level, like All-American level. And so, I was like telling myself, I'm just gonna keep running until the season over. Once the season over, I'm good. I can sign my scholarship papers. Because it wasn't 4-year scholarships. It's 1-year renewals.
Wow.
So every year you got to renew. Now, I didn't know that I couldn't have lost my scholarship because of pregnancy, because that's like a medical issue. Like this, you can't cut an athlete scholarship because they, tear their ACL or whatever. I didn't know that. I'm like, oh my gosh, you hear the horror stories. She went to school, she lost her scholarship. She got pregnant, she lost her scholarship. So I'm hiding it until I literally sign my papers.
We just teach you though.
Yeah. And then my coach was like, so what's up with you? You haven't been training in the off season. You the captain. He cool. He look like the Mac. So I'm like, I gotta resign from being the captain. This is how childish I am. I gotta resign from being the captain of the team. What you mean? Like, why you not out here working out? I'm like, cause I'm pregnant. He looking like. So I'm like, man, I'm 7 months. You what? So he was so mad, and he told my secret. So I was so mad because I was going through life. Nobody knew. He called and told my mama.
Oh no.
You know she was mad because why she hearing it from him? Like that's how tight-lipped me and my son's father was. I was like, you better not tell nobody. But yeah, so balancing.
You said you know it too well.
Balancing, I had to start early. I had to figure out my schedule, how I'm going to practice. I would go. My coach, Coach Karen, she resigned from Ohio State like last year. Not resigned, retired. But she would meet me at like 5 in the morning. So that I could do my track workout, and I'd go take my classes, and then me and his dad would switch off. His dad would take his classes, go to track practice at regular time. Going home wasn't an option for me. And sending my son home for my parents to raise until I finished also wasn't an option for me. So, because that was presented, my dad like, oh, just let him come here. We got a lot. I'm like, if he come to Cleveland, I'm going to Cleveland too. So, he going to be wherever I'm at. But so like I said, I've been balancing, and my son grown now, so
I
got it out the way early.
Did your son also do track too?
He did briefly, but he didn't stick to it. I didn't push him. I didn't want to be one of those parents that's like, oh, you got to do it. Me and his dad was both on full scholarship at Ohio State for track. Like, we wasn't like, if this is what you want to do. Yeah. And he decided one day that he didn't want to do it anymore. So I was like, okay.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm not forcing him to do it.
I'm like, you about to be hurdles on hurdles.
Right. I mean, it hurt a little bit. Because he definitely had the genetics.
Right.
But I was like, I gotta support him.
That's
I can't force him to do it because we did it, you know?
So I gotta ask for the feelings and whatnot. If anybody who follows Lulu's page, you know what I'm saying, y'all, I know y'all be signing them DMs and whatnot. And y'all know Lulu was on the dating game. Thank you, by the way.
Yes,
Lulu.
thank you.
Thanks for having me.
So I gotta ask on behalf of the fellas, you know what I'm saying. How should they properly approach you? If that's okay with you, how should they approach you? You're out and about, you know, in the world. No, the proper way. The proper way, guys. The proper way. I'm asking for you guys.
Shoot, I don't even have an answer to that question.
So no, ain't no proper way.
It really is. I don't know, because it just depends on my mood. You know, sometimes I'm not in the mood. I don't want to be bothered.
So don't be sliding up in the vault, talk about some ready juicy jumping with the jump rope. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they definitely can't be a client at the gym because I don't do that. So no.
I see a dude like, I need some tutoring or whatnot now.
Yeah,
And she specializes in
remedial.
special.
Right. I got all type of problems. You know
like,
what I'm
stop
saying?
sliding in my
Like,
DM talking about do you train. Like, bruh, if you ain't clicked the link in the bio and sign up for some cash, some dollars,
Right.
come on. Like,
Hit the button, y'all. Go, come on here one time.
please, I'm all about business, okay? And
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not doing that. So, like, if you really want to talk to me, definitely don't try to use a business thing because if we do business, we do business.
I heard that.
That's it.
Come better, brothers. Come better. You know.
I already tried that. No, I was kidding. No, just kidding.
Oh,
Okay. So, as I know, we got some stable questions to show. And just look, we you said yours.
It's been a great show.
No, it No. These are my favorite questions because once again, we're gonna look back at these questions. We're gonna be like, man, Lulu did that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I love. This is my favorite part of the show. And once again, and this is because the great thing I love about our podcast is that I feel like there's a young man or young lady who's gonna watch this episode. They're gonna be like, man, Lulu, she went through these problems, like she went through these things, she still prevailed. Thank you. It was motivating me and keeping me inspired. It's keeping me encouraged and whatnot. So that's that. I feel like, and once again, I know someone watching that and thinking that right now. By the way, so the next question to help that close that out in loop. So I feel like the mark of any great interview or any great show. Someone should be able to have some takeaways. What are 3 things you want someone to take away from today's episode? With you?
3 takeaways. Be true to yourself. Be true to who you are and your passions. That would be 1. Always do what's right. You'll never really go far if you're a yes man or you just kind of going with the flow.
Yeah.
You have to have your values and you have to stand on that. So I would say that. And then I would also say take a leap of faith. And don't allow it to have to be like a catastrophic event in your life or something like that. Like if you have a seed, because like I said, I had this seed since 2019 and I sat on it kind of into 2021 because I was comfortable. So if you have that seed, figure out a way to nourish that seed, water that seed, give it what it needs so that it can grow. Because that's been Beast in Athletics. I've been watching the evolution of it, and I would be so much further along if I put that energy into it when I had first birthed that seed than to sit on it for 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? So take that leap of faith and go for it.
That was a good one.
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Facts. So I'm calling audible right here. I'm
Audible.
sorry. That's right. Ha ha. So with that being said, and I think I might have this going forward. By the way, I was top of my head. Lulu's first one. So congratulations. Tell us one of your proudest moments and what you learned from it, and then tell us one of your biggest lessons that you also learned from while on this entrepreneur journey.
Ooh, my proudest moment would be finishing my getting my college degree. That's with good. My son, like being a young mother, you know what I mean, and just navigating through finishing school on time while still maintaining my track scholarship and still competing and doing all of that stuff. That is my proudest moment because I've heard so many stories of people who didn't do it, and I just didn't want to be that. So that's my proudest moment. One of my biggest lessons that I learned in life, I would say I'm real big on energy, right? So in business and in personal and spiritual, when you have these relationships, learn to be observant and trust what you feel as opposed to what you see, because it's a lot of people that want to showboat or they're not really genuine. And if you make a connection with someone who's disingenuous, it can really mess up what you're trying to do or what you have going for yourself in business, in your personal, in your spiritual. So my lessons is to like believe people when they show you who they are. Absolutely believe that. And that doesn't mean that you have to have an enemy or it has to be bad blood, but know how to navigate in those situations.
That's good.
Yeah.
Tried that one time. This one. That's good. Okay. New one, by the way. You've been gone so long. I had a new question.
It better be good.
No. That was it right there. By the way. That was good. That's funny.
Girl, talk about. See, that's what happened when you know.
Yep, I got you.
I'm joking.
Nah, you good.
Oh yeah, I'm that nerves starting to.
No, it's cool. You doing a great job, though. Y'all, hey, listen, leading up to this, Lulu has some real nerves and whatnot, man. She did a great job.
Yeah, she acts so nervous, but yeah, she been killing it.
Yeah.
Heart about to jump out. Come on.
So we almost to the end. Don't worry. So and this one I feel like we already asked you, but as y'all know, clears the stigma of not collaborating with each other. And as you and Philly collaborate so well together, you and Juan collaborate so great together, you got an example of us coming together and doing great things. But how do you feel like we as a city can be able to break that stigma and be able to come together as entrepreneurs, influencers, politicians, so on and so forth?
You gotta show up. In order to break the stigma, like talking about it is not going to change anything. You actually have to show up and do the work. I think my background in track is an individualized sport, right? But collectively, we're a team. We make up a team score. It's okay to be your unique individual self and still to come together as a team to get a victory. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me, y'all ain't doing no button, man. I'm sorry, man. Y'all tripping, man. Give me my button.
That was really good. I mean, when you learn that it's powers in numbers, you know, you can just go that much more further in life. Like, when I started my clothing line, I wasn't thinking about anybody else that's doing it here. And that's not going to stop me from supporting somebody else. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've gone to events and I've had people with me and they're like, well, why would you buy a jump rope from that person and you sell jump ropes? I'm like, because just to show some support. And that karma be instant. So now that same person came back, she spent twice as much money with me than I did at her booth. And I didn't do it to look for that. Right. But it's that that support, when people see you support them, it's going to reciprocate, and it's usually going to go above and beyond, because it's like, now we showing each other love. We showing each other love, then other people going to start showing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's enough for everybody to win. But, you know, I think my mindset is just different from my growing up in the sport of track, because yes, I know I'm the hurdler, I know I'm the best in this event, but I know I need all my other ladies that do sprint and distance to come together so that we can have an overall victory.
You got better with your time.
I have. Thank you. See, you've been going so long, I got better at my timing. Okay, and this is my favorite question, it really is, because I honestly leave a legacy, and I know you have already started the pathway for a great one. But what do you want your legacy to be for you as an individual, for Mr. Lulu Jackson, and what do you want your legacy to be for Beastin Athletics and everything that is connected to you?
I want my legacy to be someone who was accomplished, yet humble. Someone who has a heart of gold and is just willing to help others. I know it sounds so cliche, but I really am a good person, and anything I do is out the goodness of my heart.
That's good.
It's not to advance any connection that I make with someone. It is like a true connection. I'm not going to connect with you just because I know you might be able to get me into Dick's Sporting Goods. That's one of my flaws, probably. But
genuine, though.
You know what I mean? But it's like I just can't operate in that space. You know, I was offered the opportunity to coach high school, Division I high school football as an assistant coach. Yes, I would have been an assistant coach. But do you know how big that would have been for a black woman?
Yeah.
You know how many doors that could have possibly opened? Yeah. But that's not where my passion was at. So, I mean, although I could have used that as an opportunity to get exposure for this, that, and the third, I wouldn't do that to those athletes who are really passionate about that sport. So, I got lost in a rabbit hole.
No, you
Your legacy. And what
my
about
legacy?
Beastin?
And so for Beastin Athletics, I just want it to be like the place that you can go to where you can get high quality athleisure wear at an affordable price. Like, I want everybody to be able to wear Beastin Athletics. You know what I'm saying? So I have been to events and people like pointed out like, oh wow, that's the same set over there, and it's like way more than yours, and oh, you should raise your price. And I'm like, no, because that wasn't my initial vision. And I always be doing that to myself. It's gonna pay off. I always be doing that to myself. Like, I used to train people for free. I had a whole AAU track team for 3 years, and I did not get paid a dime. My assistant coach, I did it all for free, for the passion, for the love. Sometimes that be getting me fucked up. Excuse me. That sometimes people take advantage of that, you know what I mean? But you're right. I do feel like it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's cool. That's cool. So what's the future hold for you as a whole? Because, you know, I know we talked the legacy thing, but like, what can we expect from you in the future?
I'm just gonna continue to do what I do. I'm gonna continue to try to, grow my brand. I want to continue to touch as many athletes as I can to help make them better, to help them earn scholarships and be able to compete at the collegiate and hopefully, some professional level. My passion is education. And what I had come to realize that I am still educating each and every person that I work with. Like, I'm not the type of person, I'm not going to hold the secrets. I'm going to tell my clients exactly what they need to do, why they're doing this, so that they can know on their own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And again, messing myself up, because I done told you everything. Now you don't need to come to me, but I still get longevity with clients. They're going to work with me because they know that I'm giving them what they need, and it's deeper than just the physical service. It's the mental service. It's the way that I pour into them. It's the way that I literally get messages from parents like, oh my gosh, he or she is so much more confident now,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm just being me, like, you know
That's
what I'm
dope.
saying, like, so, yeah.
That's good stuff right there.
Okay.
And I got one last question.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get you commit to being on a dating game for the next
Ooh-wee.
one?
Get somebody else to do it.
Oh damn! We
I'll help y'all recruit or something. I'll help get some baddies to the show, but I'm not gonna be a participant.
Anyways, worth a shot. I'll do it for you.
First go
We
round.
got the first go around. You know what I'm saying? No.
Great show.
But
But she's definitely gonna be there to support.
I
in the
definitely
audience.
listen. I hope get y'all some people in there too.
All right. I know you got some.
I'm
cute friends.
surrounded by
Bring
some
them.
beautiful
I know.
ladies every day. Okay,
Mhm.
educated at the vault. Y'all better come check them out. $35 memberships.
I'm about to say,
Say it one more time.
$35 a month memberships at the vault.
Juicy jumping on the way.
I'm about to say, so where can people reach you? And then and it's not even a question, but where can people reach you? They looking for a mentor, they looking to someone to coach them, they're looking to get Beast in Athletics. Where can they reach you at?
Okay, so you can reach me via email, which is info@beastinathletics.com, or you can reach me.
Put you on my chair.
Or you can reach me via social media. Beast in Athletics is my business page. D Sexy Buckeye, or Lulu Jackson is my personal page. There are links in the bio that can take you directly to my booking site. But if you're not on social media, you can definitely email me info@beastinathletics.com.
And I'll do y'all a favor. I'm gonna have it all in the show notes so you can go right there.
Mm-hmm.
Cut the middleman. We can't thank you enough. This
This
has been
was
great.
so amazing. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Little old me. Thank you.
No, thank you for coming on. And it was all, like I said, it was a good time. I don't know why you're so nervous.
Right, you a natural.
Because they
You
looking
a
at me.
natural.
You did such a
They
great
looking
job.
at me.
Yeah, this is good. So we'll do part 2. We're gonna have Marquita do Juicy Jump with you and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm gonna lose a little bit of juice
Yeah.
before I get to jumping. I
Okay.
don't want to jiggle everywhere.
I
but
thought you meant come back in here with the question.
oh no, outfit. Give me an outfit.
Now y'all trying to kill me.
We gonna let you kill me.
Nah, but we appreciate you.
definitely.
And we appreciate you always supporting because once again, you didn't have to go do the dang thing, but you did it, and I appreciate you.
Well, it was a good time though.
Yeah.
Co-hosted for us.
Yeah, so thank
You
you.
know, Brandon be dry. We appreciate it. We appreciate it. So we hold down for you.
Appreciate you.
Well, since we all introverts, you know, I might be able to bring the comedic relief to the.
Hey, listen, y'all. Hey, by the way, y'all don't know this podcast is birthed by introverts. You know what I'm saying? Y'all thinking that we extroverts.
Yeah.
Get us off cameras is crickets.
Crickets, right?
You know, but it's a good time nonetheless, though. And once again, I want to thank y'all for once again tuning every week. Y'all subscribers be subscribing, the likes be liking, and the views be viewing. So we appreciate y'all once again being able to showcase the great people of our city, showcase the influencers, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, and the politicians of our city. And it's a great time. You know, we appreciate y'all. Until next time, y'all. And hold on, let's say. We have Marquita tonight, y'all. We have Marquita.
Y'all know I was not missing this one.
Y'all know, I thought I was seeing a ghost. Somebody, is that Marquita? So no, we really appreciate our special guest tonight.
You
know?
was right. Ooh, you see how they kick you off?
But no, I'm just joking, y'all.
We
but-
know, because can't nobody sang like Eddie Kane. He needed me in this. It's okay.
But we appreciate y'all, and we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace.